It's a wonderful, homogeneous combination of instruments. It can blend as if it's one instrument, like an organ, because it's a series of pipes. We can sing, we can play loud, we can play soft, we can speak through our instrument by the articulations that we say. It's just like any other instrument. We have our own voices. We got a call from Harvard Musical Association to be their very first saxophone quartet in their history. I forget how old Harvard Music Association is, but it's more than 100 years. And so I said, sure, that'd be great. And they had a program that they had in mind because one of the gentlemen who ran the series had heard us play. So we were asked to play the Glazunov Quartet, an early masterwork written for the Marcel Mule Quartet, and they knew that we played Bach. So we've done the Art of Fugue a number of times, so we were asked to do that. And then he said, we have a piece by a woman who's a member named Betsy Warren Davis. And I said, I know Betsy Warren Davis, but I'll bet she doesn't remember me. And don't tell her. So it turns out that 35 years ago I had premiered Betsy's quartet when I was a student at New England Conservatory. So that night when we played the concert, I announced to everyone, including Betsy, that it was that it was I that was part of the original quartet. The Glazunov is an original piece for saxophone quartet, written just before he died. His last couple of opuses are pieces for saxophone. In the case of the Mule Quartet and Sigurd Rascher, those were the people who, in the 1930s, commissioned Glazunov, who was living in Paris as an expatriate, Russian expatriate. The Art of Fugue was arranged, transcribed, if you simply, just the notes by a former student of mine named Mike Leonard. It's unpublished, and we're just playing the notes. As you know, the Art of Fugue was for an unspecified instrumentation. And the Los Angeles Saxophone Quartet had recorded the complete Art of Fugue years ago. I was at that recording session. I was inspired by it, and I wanted to do it, and we've been doing it for years. So it was time to record it, and so we did. The Gabriel Pierné, Introduction and Variation on a Popular Round, is an original piece for saxophone quartet of the same era as the Glazounov Quartet. So the Marcel Mule's quartet was the inspiration for all of the major works, I'd say, in the 1930s. Well, Betsy's piece is very pretty, melodious, quite listenable, and a very nice piece of music.
But I always did like to write things myself. It wasn't something that I just developed in later years. It was something I did from a child. I wrote things that I liked. I wrote them down, you know. Some people play with dolls, and I wrote, I wrote music. Well, I had some friends that played the saxophone, and I hadn't done it before, and that always appeals to me when it's a novel thing that I'm going to do. And yes, that's why I wrote a saxophone quartet. You just have to know they have a certain range, and you don't go beyond that. And I think you want to keep things in balance. It's nice to have a principle, but not to have that one instrument to be the principal all the time. That's dull, you know. We want like other things, like there's the principal and then you'll have some supporting players and they have their little solos too.